Welcome back. Deputy Commissioner of Police Novelette Grant talking to us about an impactful program that she conceptualized 2 years ago, and which is now reaching young people between 13 and 18 all across the island. You've been working closely with the Community Safety and Security branch. And of course, that arm of the JCF has been working with youth clubs, youth clubs for a long time. Yes. So they are very integral with you on this program. Absolutely. So in addition to the camp, you also are interacting with youth through schools or sessions at the schools and so on. Tell us about the other modalities.
Yes. So once the summer is passed and school begins, we get into schools, even if the school never participated in the camp. Okay. We go to the schools and through the Community Safety and Security branch, and the same facilitators who have been trained with this narrative, to deliver this narrative of empowerment and mentorship, they go and they interact. Since we started up to last year, we had impacted about 14,000 youths.
14,000?
Yes, not just from the camps, because we go and we have sessions at school. Yes.
The reach was that wide.
Yes, because we continue to go to school and the message is given and the students are enthused about it. A number of schools are inviting us we want to be part of it. And that is why we don't want us to be the only voice. The summer camps, the residential camps, have different persons. For example, this year we invited Owen Blacker Ellis to be part of it. Yes. We had Patrick Prendergast. We have a number of people because we use different methodologies in the camp, drama, art, dance, song.
So people can volunteer.
People can volunteer for the camp. And we're looking volunteers to assist us as we push the mentorship program throughout the school year. One of the things that we did after year one was to ask our medical services branch, Dr. George Leverage, to have a session on emotional intelligence with teachers. And he's very enthusiastic. Yes. Because when we look at it, we are trying to look at all the actors that come together to make a school community work, and we want it to be healthy. And he's prepared to go back to Westmoreland and to work with those teachers. We also want other persons to come on board, because we know that when these youngsters get into a class, into a school with a lot of adverse effects, we've had youngster who is so abused by relatives that he said to us, if I had not come on this camp this year, I would have probably killed myself. And
so you're preventing murders.
We're preventing murders and suicide.
Yes, and
because the kids told us. One kid who was on the camp this year, we thought he had the pink eye. So his parent came for him to take him to the doctor. And when he went home, there was a boy who was not on the camp, but their adversaries. He found out that boy had stoned his house. And he took a machete to go search for the boy. He came back to camp and told us this. Yes. And he said, I had him. I could have just taken his head. Wow. So why didn't you do it? I remembered my iPad. Yes. And I couldn't even lift my arm.
Touching story.
And he said when the other boy recognized that he had him, he just froze until he said to him, why are we living so bad together? We're neighbors.
That's what he said?
Yes, and the other one came and hugged him.
Whoa.
And they had and teenage boys don't really.
That's right. Oh, yes, this homophobic society.
Yes. Yeah. But because of the way we give them hugs, they come to us and they just ask us for hugs.
The boys ask?
Boys and girls, they just ask us
for hugs.
Just ask for hugs. Whoa. And we give it to them, and they will tell us, I don't get this. They tell us, thank you for hugs. I remember a young lady, she sent me a text to say, thank you for your hugs. And I said, I hope they were of comfort to you. Yes. And she said, yes, because when I came to camp, I forgot hurt because the facilitators were there for me to offer comfort. So we think we are trying to create some amount of emotional healing. A lot of
you see this as an important part of the work of the police.
It's prevention.
Prevention
does not necessarily translate to boots on the ground. That is in some way suppression. It begins at home and it begins in the mind. And when we hear some of the stories of the youngsters who are doing certain things and said, because alcohol abuse, drug abuse, sexual abuse,
sex addiction, yes.
Whatever we as adults are doing, they're doing it. And unfortunately, sometimes better than us. Because they're young, they're agile in their thinking, but it's directed at the wrong path. So they come and they sit with us and they tell us. You know, we have had kids saying, you see, when I go back to school, this is how I'm going to be. I'm going to, when I have free time, I'm going to sit and I'm going to read, because when CXC time comes, this is what I want. We have seen turning points. Yes. We have seen them making.
Every aspect of their lives.
They are making
impacted.
And they're saying, and I'm going to teach, and we're going to form
they're passing
clubs.
it on.
Yeah, I'm going to teach. Yeah, that's what they're doing. And they are more enthusiastic than us. They have become literal disciples, some of them. Missionaries. And so we want to engage other members of the community to come on board. I want to take this opportunity to thank Corporate Jamaica, to thank JSIF, individual citizens who have given us monetary donation to fund the camp, people who have given up their time to come and make presentations. So it's not just a JCF, the schools that opened their doors so we could find somewhere to host the camp, and the schools who continue to engage us and want us to be there. We had parents who came and spent full 2 weeks at the camp.
Parents?
Yes.
Go and spend the time at the camp?
Yes, to help us with, you know, being there for the kids, because we encourage healthy competition amongst them and healthy rivalry, and they learn to deal with disappointment, they learn to deal with conflict. I mean, and the parents have been there with us. We have had a few professionals. We would love to have more social workers join us because of the adverse effect. One of the things that came out is in the second Sunday that they're on the camp, we have a church service. And we invite a youth minister, somebody who framed their sermon within the same context of the language, right? And talk to them about who they are and their purpose and so on. And they enjoy it. Many of them have never been to a church. And we try to encourage those pastors and their congregation to make themselves available for it. So to mentor the youth, we have a committee working out in St. James that is putting together, trying to deliberately seek mentors, and that is what we want to do. We just don't want to have it by chance. Yes. We really want mentors, and we want some of the parents themselves to learn to be mentors, because they are the biggest role models their children will ever have. That's true. And as I said, people have called and said, can I get my kid on it? Because they've heard about it. People have called and volunteered to say, I was a teacher, I want to come and do so, and so I'm retired. So we're getting some momentum after just 3 years.
PCP, it has been so heartwarming to have spoken to you. I was so impressed with the work that the JCF is doing, and so impressed with you. Thank you on behalf of Jamaica for conceptualizing such an impactful program. Deputy Commissioner of Police Novelette Grant talking to us about the youth empowerment and mentorship program. The JCF is having a positive impact on several areas of life in Jamaica. Next week I'll be back. Until then, Ian Bourne wishing you a pleasant day.